welcome to the Questionnaires podcast, where each week we source the best questions from Yahoo Answers and attempt to provide the best advice from.
Why do cases for eyeglasses shut so violently?
2.
Why does being naked with socks on feel more naked than being naked?
We're here to prove that every question deserves an answer. Join with me this week, as always, is Marcus.
Hello, Tom.
And Damien.
Here I am, socks and all, Tom.
That's the one thing I miss seeing. I miss seeing you guys from the waist down. I will
Naked?
say that.
Yeah.
I miss seeing your dicks.
Whoa. I meant waist from the waist down. It's only torsos we're working with these days.
You
That's
absolute
it.
pervert, Tom. You goddamn pervert.
Hey. Don't put me on trial like that.
You put yourself on trial, all right?
How do I even know you guys still have legs? That's all I'm saying.
I'm
Jury's
legless.
out.
Upper halves.
Yeah, I'm legless right now.
How are we going anyway?
Yeah, good.
We've all got some drinks happening as well, I've noticed. It is a
Yes.
Friday night, so cheers to that, fellas.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Even though I have work tomorrow, cheers to that.
Virtual
Ooh,
cheers.
ouch.
Virtual cheers. Yeah, I mean, we're all getting a little bit lubricated right now. It's a nice night. It's a Friday night. I mean, Damien, less lubricated because you got work tomorrow. But you know
course.
what? We're here. We're ready to party.
That's right. How has the week been for you guys? Have you been up too much, even with the circumstances?
As I always report, nothing to report. Unfortunately, I feel like I have the least corona affected life. As far as I just keep doing exactly what I'm doing. So nothing interesting. I'll let you know if it does happen.
It's interesting. So I do work from home generally, but not generally. I mean, during this virus, I'm working from home a lot more. But today I had something interesting happen. I actually got my flu immunization. I went in and got a flu shot.
Okay,
guys.
okay.
It's very important. I want to stress everybody should get their flu shots. However,
Of course.
while I was getting my flu shot, something really struck me. I was like, what the fuck? Why are they asking this question? Do you realize when you get the flu shot, they actually say, do you have any egg allergies?
Yes.
Oh, is that
Specifically eggs. Yeah.
Oh,
Are you
right.
not aware of that?
I don't
just
know this
found-
because, for me, at least somebody who doesn't have any allergies, I think anytime that they tick forms or any reactions, I just tune out. They're like, allergic to anything, generic brand okay, blah, 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 blah. I just say yes.
All right, Mr. Perfect.
Yeah.
God,
calm
with your immaculate health.
God
For me,
damn, how
it's-
did you get,
for me, it's
where'd you gather that?
When I fill in those forms, it's like, well, I reacted to this drug once and I had a reaction to this. Also, I'm allergic to this, and this.
You're like,
I have to
Dr.
write an
Augustine.
essay.
I gotta admit, I tick no most of the time, but I saw egg allergy. I'm like, well, what are they doing? Are they whipping up an omelet and putting it into the injection? That's my flu shot. Like, what the fuck?
Is this spinach, egg, bacon, Spanish onion?
Yeah, exactly. I was surprised. I didn't realize that they made flu vaccines from egg yolk.
Right. Is that
That's exactly how they
stop,
make it.
Is that how we stop the flu, Marcus?
Yeah, that's exactly how. And look, guys, you should trust my opinion. I am actually engaged to a doctor, so medically I'm sound. All right, guys.
I was going to say, if she's a doctor, are you able to just get the injection and just go like, I'll do it at home. It's okay. We'll just take this one home. Can I have it to go?
Just a take away vaccine.
Yeah, take away, thanks. In a paper cup would be nice.
She's only ever given me an injection once, and that's because I was just like, she's like, I can get the actual thingos for you, and we did it in a car park.
Was it
And
heroin?
It was
What the fuck?
Yeah. No, it was just like we're going out for dinner one night, and she was just like, "Oh, do you want to do it now? Because we're going overseas." I'm like, "Yeah, all right, might as well do it." And let me tell you, she gives the best injections. All right, guys.
Okay, all right. I'd love to
I got an
experience.
injection today. My arm feels like a fucking. It's killing me right now. I didn't get that same pain when she gave me the injection. So
Also, last week she took out your tonsils in your garage. She also did that as well.
Yeah,
but apart from
and my
that,
liver,
nothing major.
And the liver in the bathtub. Yeah, perfect. Just took it out.
She's a great doctor, and you guys are really the black market has really served you well with all the kidneys and organs that she's harvested from you.
Exactly.
The highlight of my week, seeing as we're all doing our little highlight, was me and my girlfriend have been interviewing videographers for our wedding.
Ooh.
So it's,
yes.
it's been lots of video chats, and there was one that stood out for all the wrong reasons. So we've kind of just been like, when you obviously have your prepared questions you're going to ask them, and one of the ones that my girlfriend would always start with was just ask the person, so how did you get into wedding, videography? What made you start, right? This is the first question we asked every single person we interviewed. And this is how one of the guys started it. He goes, well, it's a long story, but long story short, I worked in nursing and then I did shrooms and now I'm a videographer. And we're just like...
What?
I saw God, and now I want to capture the moment of love.
It was hard because I could feel my girlfriend and me wanting to react, but you obviously can't because you're on camera.
I would have just frozen and been like, it's just but pretending that it's the Zoom just cutting out.
Yeah,
Dude, but
Oh
it
my
was
God.
like, look, I'm not a narc, but like you don't lead an interview with drugs. Maybe get to know us, then hit us with the drugs. You know what I mean?
I love that it's long story short, shrooms. Need I say more?
Yes.
Like, to summarize, shrooms.
I'm curious to hear the long story of that one.
That's exactly my point. Like, how do you go? You can't, long story short, I worked in nursing, then I did shrooms, and then I became a wedding videographer. Where is there's no thread there. There is like, we're missing some critical information.
I love that. Probably any suggestion like that you give him as far as like, this is what we want the music, the video to be cut to. It's going to be like The Less I Know, The Better by Tame Impala or something like
Real
something a
psychedelic.
little bit sort of psychedelic music going on. That's an interesting thing to bring up. Like, why would you just to complete
I have
strangers?
no idea. And I thought I misheard him, and then he brought it up again. So it's like, okay, now he definitely did it. But I also think it kind of like, maybe it reflects poorly on me and my girlfriend, because maybe he looked at us and he was like, oh yeah, they definitely look like a druggy couple.
They like to party. They like to
He's
party.
like, look at Toad and
to
Toadette
party.
here. They love mushrooms.
And he's like,
Exactly.
is he trying to buy shrooms from us? Is that what or is he trying to sell shrooms? Like, just let you know, side hustle?
Needless to say, he got the job. No, he didn't.
Of course.
I'm recently like interviewing people, and I always like with me and my fiance now, we're asking people like having these interviews with like photographers and videographers, and we have no idea what to say. Do you guys have like a list of things that you're going to ask?
Yeah, do you want my list of questions that my girlfriend wrote out? Because they're really good.
I mean,
let's
you
hear
can
it.
send them. You can send them through if you want, but
Well, the first question you should ask is, how much do you charge for a pound of mushrooms? And then from there, you go into the rest of the conversation.
you proceed. You proceed. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I mean, I do videos too, Damien, but like, thanks for not asking me. There's no way I would ever do anything to do with the wedding industry, I must say. That would be the most stressful and a little bit too much for me to handle.
Plus, you're also going to be invited to my wedding, Tom, so I wouldn't want you with a camera in hand.
One
Hey,
choice.
that's cool. I can try and do put on multiple hats if I have to. Whatever gets the job done.
He gets paid to attend your wedding, Damon. That sounds like
And I gotta sit on the table with the talent though, like the
Yeah, that's
DJ
it.
and the
That's
MC.
Yes, yeah.
Let's leave our personal lives out of this. Let's get into the meat and bones of what we're here to do, which is answer questions from the website Yahoo Answers. That's what we do each and every week. We try to provide some advice to people and help them on their way through their lives. That's how the show works. The other thing we do is we choose a theme to name the question askers, and it's my theme this week. And I
It is your
decided,
theme.
considering we can't go out, we can't go to restaurants, we can't enjoy food. It is a Friday night. What is there left to do on a Friday night? What is a Friday night tradition but takeaway food, which has not been taken away from us yet? So I decided
Not yet.
let's name our question askers after some Friday night takeaway food.
Very
Love it.
nice. Very nice. Yes. I'm going to
How
go
does that
first.
feel? Okay,
I'm
let's
going to
hear
go
it.
first. I'm going to go first because I always feel like I never go first because I never take the reins. However,
Let's hear.
So this question is going to come from good old staple takeout pizza. All right. I have been arguing with my fiance countless times because I always want pizza and she's always like, no pizza. So it's always a struggle for me to get takeout pizza. But when I do, I make sure it counts. I always get like
Okay,
two just for
so
me.
is it one of those things where she's just like, once pizza's done, it's like, we've had pizza for the month, no more.
Yeah, pretty much. Like
It
pizza,
is
like she
hard.
likes pizza. It's just a sometimes meal, which I understand. It's not good for you. There's nothing nutritious about a pizza. Like there's vegetables on it, but they're like heavily fried and in oil. But
Can I suggest, my suggestion is to maybe make homemade pizzas, go with a cauliflower base, and then you can be like, we're basically eating vegetables.
but then that's not a takeout pizza, Tom. That's not a
I know,
takeout pizza.
I understand, but I'm saying to scratch that pizza itch, give that a go.
Cauliflower base, that is sacrilegious, Tom. That is not a pizza. That is an abomination.
I know the resident Italian is chiming in. I understand that it is, how you say, sacrilegious.
It is sacrilegious. I don't know if I could do that, Tom.
Gets the
But
job
anyway,
done.
All right, so Takeout Pizza writes in how to introduce myself to neighbors. Hi all. My fiance and I just moved from an apartment to our new house on Saturday. In the past, I never really introduced myself to neighbors, but would say hi in passing and that sort of thing. Since we have now bought a house and plan to stay there for a long time, It would be nice to know the neighbors. Our house is located on a corner lot. The front door is facing a court with a total of about 5 houses, including ours, and the other half of the houses is on a drive. I was thinking of going to the next door neighbors on both sides this week, but I don't really know how to go about it. I feel so awkward already. Any suggestions for the shy and socially inept? Also, should I go to the other 3 houses in the court, or should I just wait until we see each other outside or sometime? Wave or go from there. Thank you in advance. Take out pizza. So they want to know how to introduce yourself to your neighbors. Now, we've all recently moved into our place.
Yeah. So let's just reiterate that Damien has moved in a little bit. He's been settled for a little bit longer than you, Marcus. You're a little bit more fresh to this. And after you have had some great success with neighbors, such as myself, I'll raise my hand and say, great neighbor. You're welcome. I think you've got high standards of the type of neighbor you're expecting to experience. I would only assume you've got high standards.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. Like having a up there close to best friend as a neighbor, you're not gonna get that very often.
Close to best friend. Let's just move on. Just get rid of close.
Close is like it's not subjective. It's just like, it's too close to call.
It is what
you're
it
up
is.
there. You're up there.
Right.
I really feel sorry for you, Marcus, because you started with the creme de la creme,
Yeah.
and now you've got
it's all downhill from here, baby.
and now you've just got cauliflower pizzas sitting next to you on either side of your house at the moment. So that's a real shame.
Exactly.
Oh,
Well,
boy.
yeah. I don't have no Toms on my either side of me. That's for sure.
Right.
I wanted to ask you, Marcus, because you have moved in recently. Did you pick this question because you have a compulsion to befriend your neighbors, or has the thought just crossed your mind?
I'm the opposite. I struggle to go. Like, it's funny because one of my closest friends was a previous neighbor of mine. However, I've moved out a lot. Like, I've moved out with friends at a few different places, as well as now this current place with my fiance. And let me just say, I've never had the impulsion of going to talk to my neighbors. Ever.
Interesting.
Like, I've never gone, hey, I should introduce myself to my next door neighbor. I'm like, nah, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want that.
It's interesting because when I bought we have an investment property. When we were there, we were sort of doing it up and like painting it and things like that. And we had the neighbors come over, and they're just like, they walked over and they knocked on the door. It was like, hey, we just wanted to say hi and introduce ourselves. We're the Millers. We live across the road. Just so you know, we're in number 8 over there. You guys, you're going to live here? Is that who you guys are? And we're like, no. We're actually just, we're going to be renting the place out. And it was kind of nice to sort of be like, oh, this is the nice street that they're going to go, I'm going to go and introduce myself to them. It's a nice thing to do. So I'm all for the option of doing it. Would I do it myself though? No, I don't need to do that. People come to me, but this is the person who doesn't add people on Facebook. Just remember, I wait for people to add me on Facebook.
It's a privilege to add you, Tom.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Do you know what makes me laugh about neighbors sometimes? Like, you'll be at a friend's house and you'll both happen to come across their neighbor, and they'll be like, oh yeah, how you going, mate? Good to see you, blah, 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 as they're taking their bins out. And as soon as the neighbor walks off, your friend is like, fucking hate that guy. Like, they make a comment about the neighbor.
Goddamn,
like, it's funny with one of my neighbors is actually, so the house that I have used to be one big property, and then the owners subdivided it and turned it into 2 properties. Right. So the people that are our neighbors, one of their kids used to live in the house that I currently own now, right?
Yeah.
So what happened, I never really spoke to him other than when at the auction, but what happened was there's an alarm system in the house, and I noticed it wasn't on. And I was like, oh, I wonder why it's not on. So I went upstairs, found where the battery was located, plugged it in, and the most deafening siren started. And honestly, this alarm was so loud that like me and my girlfriend had our hands over our ears, like blood coming out of our ears as we like crumbled to the ground because it was so loud.
It's like the brown noise.
She was like screaming like, turn it off. So I like climbed up the ladder and pulled the battery out. So I was like, okay. When we bought the house, they didn't give us the code, so I'll go speak to the neighbor who, you know, their kid used to live here, so they should have the code, right? Thinking they'd be pretty amicable because I've dealt with them before, they know who I am. And it was like, it was like I was trying to sell them like a Bible or something. Like the way they reacted to when I came to the door, I did not feel comfortable. It was just like, I was asking them for blood or something. I was like, oh, okay, I guess you're not friendly neighbor. It was weird.
I guess that's the one thing you have to remember is that as nice nice as you feel of a person, you don't know what the other person is like. The person on the other side of that fly screen door is going to be like. I mean, if they got the crim mesh on, I know, Damien, you've got a very strong door there.
Secure. It's very
You
secure.
throw a bowling ball at it. Isn't that how the guy
Oh
demonstrated?
man, I think I can't remember if I